with their clean, safe chemicals that leave your car all shiny and protected. When you buy gas inside the one-stop shop, you'll get savings on your car wash, make life easy, and sweeten it all with Rams. You can save with the Dinosaur and their top-tier Sinclair fuel. Rams has great car wash membership deals, and you can save on gas when you wash your car. Satisfy your appetite when you drop in the one-stop shop convenience store. Smell the chicken. Delectable, mouth-watering, crispy, crunchy fried chicken, that is. Rams is now open at 2090 Mentone Boulevard in Mentone. Thank you to Rams for their community spirit and sponsoring this radio station. Rams in Mentone is waiting for you.
Hi, this is Chris Klein, Investment Manager for Capstone Wealth Management. I've been through just about every market imaginable since the early 90s, and you know what they have in common? We helped people just like you navigate them, and that's given our investors peace of mind. Now, my boys say being in the game this long just makes me old, but I say it makes me battle-tested. I've been blessed to work for a lot of people who have entrusted tens of millions of dollars of their hard-earned capital to me and my team. If you'd like to see how we can successfully manage your money, let's start
Tahibo Tea Club's original Pure Pouty Arco Super Tea comes from the only tree in the world that fungus does not grow on. As a result, it naturally has antifungal, anti-infection, antiviral, antibacterial, anti-inflammation, and anti-parasite properties. So the tea is great for healthy people because it helps build the immune system, and it can truly be miraculous for someone fighting a potentially life-threatening disease due to an infection, diabetes, or cancer. The tea is also organic and naturally caffeine-free. A 1-pound package of tea is $49.95, which includes shipping. To order, please visit TahiboTeaClub.com. Tahibo is spelled T like Tom, A-H-E-E-B like boy, O, then continue with the word tea and then the word club. The complete website is TahiboTeaClub.com or call us at 818-610-8088, Monday through Saturday, 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. California time.
Yard House Restaurant of Temecula takes this special time to salute the Temecula men and women in uniform who've answered the call for our freedoms. Let's give them the hero's welcome they deserve as they have fought hard to restore peace around the world. American troops are our angels of protection, so stand up and salute them proudly. That's from Yard House Restaurant in Temecula, where they say service isn't just a courtesy, it's a commitment. Call 951-296-3116 for Yard House Restaurant of Temecula at 40770 Winchester Road in Temecula. Our sponsor, Applied Earthworks, serves the Inland Valley in Southern California for over 24 years, specializing in cultural resource management, an expert in archaeology, paleontology, architectural history, and historic preservation, making it possible to build for the future without sacrificing our cultural heritage. Learn more and see employment opportunities at AppliedEarthworks.com. Progress and preservation. Applied Earthworks supports our veterans.
KCAA.
Take my advice. I'm not using it. Get balanced with Dr. Marissa, the morning show here on NBC News, CNBC News, and NBC Sports Radio Station KCAA, AM 1050, FM 106.5, home to the Asian Oprah, 25 years strong, number one talk in the IE, and this is a show about hope and happiness. So there's no gossip, no scandal, no K words, no Kanye talk. Before, formerly, or now. Instead, I want you to focus on your own reality show. And we are also streaming live on my YouTube TV channel, 628 consecutive weeks, 12th year, and everywhere platform, iHeartRadio, Spotify, Stitcher, iTunes, TuneIn, Audible, Amazon Music, Tiki Live, Rumble, Podchaser, Speaker, and more. And I get to bring you great topics, great a guest. If you missed iconic impressionist Rich Little, if you missed half of the cast of Happy Days, Dee Wallace, who's now the number one credit film, TV. She was the mom on E.T., friend of mine. Go to my YouTube TV channel, free subscribe, and you will get all those 1,164 shows, but who's counting? And not only do I get to bring you show guests and topics that you balance out all the bad news out there with good news, I also have special series, and my newest special series is sitting in front of you today. His name is Ricky Rebel. You will know him not only as a Billboard artist. Some of you may have seen him on stage with Britney Spears touring. He's been a Grammy member since 2017, voting member for those of you who are interested. With the Recording Academy, was discovered by Michael Jackson, signed onto his label on Sony, and later signed to Madonna's record label, Maverick. Please welcome back to my studio, my fabulous and new recording dropping today, Ricky Rebel.
Oh my gosh, I'm having one of those hair days, you know, when you're trying to get your hair right and you're like, it's not going the way you want it, and it's okay. We're gonna make it work.
It looks fabulous, and I'm gonna remind you of the zit factor that I talk about as one of my Happy 88 tools. And welcome to Blue Crow. He's got popcorn ready for the unveiling today, I think. But yeah, my zit factor is you see the zit, but until you point it out, so your hair is fabulous. If you hadn't said anything, nobody would be noticing it.
Right. So, you do need to go with this.
See, this is actually
there you go.
Better.
Perfect. Gorgeous. we have to adjust ourselves.
Each other.
Well, today we're talking a lot about aesthetics. That's why I guess I have looking at a lot about how we look right now. You know, Hollywood is a lot about the look, the vibe. So I'm here live at Loudon Medical Aesthetics in Virginia. And, you know, the topic, of course, is about skincare. And I'm just super excited to talk about this because it's one of my passions. A lot of people meet me and they have no idea what age I am. They guess totally wrong and everything. They can't believe it. But it's a lot of it has to do with my friend Michelle Fisher at Loudon. So she's Loudon Medical Aesthetics. She's gonna be here soon, and I'm gonna introduce you to her. She's wild. She's running a little behind schedule, but that's okay. We're gonna make it all work, and we're gonna have a good time.
Absolutely. And for those of you who are looking for a really good book to read, this show is sponsored by Dr. Patrick Lockwood, best-selling author of The Fear Problem: How Technology and Culture Have Hijacked Our Minds and Lives, available on Amazon today. And thank you so much, Dr. Patrick Lockwood, for doing the support of this show. We do love our sponsors. So if you're interested at all in becoming a sponsor on the show, then please do contact me at drmarissa.life. And there's the cover of the book. Please go pick it up today. We want to be cognizant that we are the boss of our minds. And he does a great job describing how we may be a little hijacked. All right. And you know the drill. I like to start with having breakfast with my guests and my co-host. So taking a bite of my gratitude sandwich is a little like.
I am going to take a moment just to step off and get this plugged in, so we don't lose power. I'm grateful for the power. I'm grateful I have the opportunity to put the power on. Let me put the power on.
All right, cool. Ricky is grateful for. So the top of the bun on the gratitude sandwich is things that are outside of yourself, and then things on the bottom of the bun are things that you like about yourself. So that's the drill, and we'll just, as Ricky is going to get his power on, I will be grateful for COVID. I know people don't like COVID. I'm not saying I love COVID, but I have a habit of, drinking lemonade and making really yummy banana bread out of bruised bananas. So COVID silver lining is that we've gotten used to remote, and the fact that I get to bring Ricky to you from Virginia and his special guest from Loudon Medical Aesthetics. That's a gratitude that we have the technology now to travel and get the show with us wherever we go. And there is Ricky. One more gratitude so we can talk about the topic at hand.
One more gratitude. Wow. I'm grateful that I get to travel and go places that I love and meet people that I want to hang out with. I really love this Michelle, who I'm going to introduce you to. Um, I'm a travel guy. So I'm a Sagittarian. Traveling's my thing. Performing. I'm going to perform also
Where are you
tonight
performing?
here.
In Virginia. So anybody who's listening in Virginia, we have people listening from every state, thanks to all of the remote platforms, over 100 countries. So where are you performing?
I'm performing here at Loudon Medical Aesthetics with to introduce Michelle Fisher's new. She has a new ice bar.
Oh, wow. I didn't get an invite for that.
Mhm.
But I
Next
just
time.
I have your love for travel as well. It never gets old. That
Never gets
feeling
old.
of taking off and landing. I actually do a little game where I bet the people around me $1 that I can nail the landing with 10, 9, 8, 7, 6.
Really?
Yes, I do.
I
It's
love
pretty
that.
funny. Those of you who have been following me for a while know that. All right, let's go to the bottom of the bun, and we got a finger for that. That is not that finger, but this finger. We love it when you participate and chat with us and talk about how great Ricky is. We've got
Oh, thank you so much.
Annalena.
Lena.
Thank you for that love. And we're playing the gratitude breakfast game. So we're taking
Right.
a bite of our gratitude sandwich. We just did top of the bun, bottom of the bun, because I like it on the bottom, is the appreciation. What do we have? I mean, I'm obviously Ricky's rubbing off on me. I'm going to blame it on you. The bottom of the bun is what do I like about myself? And the reason why I want you to think about that is before you go to bed at night, instead of this, the meaning MS scrolling, meaningless scrolling, I want you to actually fall asleep thinking about what good you did instead of what bad things, or the things you did accomplish instead of what I forgot to do, and how good people are around you instead of how dare they insult me. So because when you think the negative, you're not going to fall asleep, and it is, in my BS, my belief system, the hallmark of good mental health. So that is why. What do you like about yourself, Ricky?
Whoo. Let's see. What do I like about myself? I like how creative I am. I'm a very creative person. I can write music on the spot. I could be silly characters sometimes. I just like to play. So I like to be creative. So that I really love that about myself.
Beautiful.
Thank you.
Yes. And I love that I can probably do 8 things at the same time. At least I think I can. But this morning I'm like texting, on the bike, swimming, and then posting all at the same time. and
Multitasker.
It is a lot of fun. But I encourage you to do this good life discipline every morning when you wake up, instead of looking again at MS, and just anchoring yourself so that you start your day in the most positive way. And because, frankly, my dear, if you can't approve of yourself, how the fork do you expect anybody else to? All right. Thank you so much for joining us for breakfast. That is it for this morning's bite of our gratitude sandwich.
I love the gratitude sandwich. It's really helped me in my life, actually, to look in the mirror instead of just like beating yourself up all the time. I'm starting to look in the mirror and say positive things more and more often. I think that is the goal. You know, when you start appreciating yourself from the inside out, you stop needing it less and less from the outside world. It's so important.
Yeah, because a lot of us are walking around with little antenna, who likes me, who approves of me, social media, literally, who likes me. And it just is wacko because you're constantly, oh, they like me. Oh, they don't. Oh, they don't. It's an exhausting, hamster wheel that I just refuse. I absolutely love the fact that we get to talk about these things at the same time of talking about Hollywood and all of the stuff that we are going to cover today. Ricky is bringing us the message, and I'm going to have a little fun with this.
Okay.
How I'm hashtag ageless. Ricky, as he introduced himself earlier, is people ask all the time, how old? In the chat, at the risk of fooling myself, how old do you think biologically I am?
Don't ask that question for me. I don't want to know what they think.
I'm not asking for you.
Especially in this horrible lighting.
No, I'm asking for me. How young or how old do I look biologically? And the reason why I'm asking this is, I've been swiping, right? Swipe or no swiping, because I finally am starting to date. And you have to do the age thing. So we're also going to bring the dating game on Thursdays onto Straight Talk, and you'll have to help us with that. And instead of asking what age you are, what age you want, or what age you're playing with, we're going to say, how old do you feel, act, and think?
Right.
And do you want someone like, up, or down?
That's cool.
Is that cool?
Yeah, that is really cool.
Yeah.
I like that.
Thank you. So I am going to let you, do you want to do it now or later? Because this is a big forking day for Ricky, and I'm so glad that he gets to do this on the show. Is this a good time, or do you want to wait?
To do what?
Something's dropping today.
Well, we're dropping something, right? We're dropping it like it's hot. Is it a guess?
Yeah, we're dropping it like it's hot. I'm just asking you if you want
to
drop it now or later.
Well, I think we should drop her now. Let's get her on. I'm going to introduce my friend. The reason I'm here in Virginia, Sterling, Virginia, I'm at Loudon Medical Aesthetics. I've been working with her for how many years? 4 years now. And she has helped really take at least a decade off my looks, at least 2 decades. In the proper lighting. This is the worst lighting in the world, by the way. There's all shadows. Dr. Marissa, we didn't come with my lights and everything. But even in the worst lighting, I still look great. So bottom line, I can't take all the credit for that. Everybody asked me about my skincare, and I can't take all the credit for that. But I do have very good discipline. I will say that. I have very good discipline with my face. But that's because of this woman, what she taught me. Can we talk about how we met?
Are you going to bring her on?
No, in 1 second.
Okay.
In 1 second. Because she's going to dominate and talk a lot. No, this was before.
Wow.
12 hours later.
Wow.
0 Photoshop. That's the end of the conversation.
That's incredible. Wow.
This is 5 months later with perfect lighting, but still no filter. But this is like the next day.
That's incredible.
Yeah, she's a genius. So I only mess with geniuses. Bottom line, in my life, I really respect talent above all things. I really do. I respect talent. So when I see someone who's extraordinary at what they do, I just, have them for life. And so here, without further ado, I'm going to introduce to you Michelle Fisher.
Hello. Well, there we go.
There we go. We've got room there. And good morning or good noon for you guys. Welcome to the show, Michelle.
Thank you.
You
So
look
happy
also,
to be here.
Yeah, you look #ageless as well.
Can we tell my age?
You can if you
No,
like.
you don't have to tell your age. Only if you want
I
to.
just turned 60.
Really? You must use, I would normally say oil of Olay, but I'm going to say Loudon Medical Aesthetics.
Yes, you're correct. Everything I do here.
Yeah. Well, we have some funny comments here.
Yeah,
Let's
I
see.
wouldn't put Pearl up there.
2 decades my behind. Thank you for using
No,
my behind.
yeah, do not put her up here. She's bitter.
Oh, she is?
She's bitter.
Are you serious or not?
She's a hater.
Is she? Oh,
Yes,
okay.
she is.
Oh, okay. Sorry. Well, she says that there's some positive comments there. But
No,
anyways,
she's being sarcastic. But you know what? This lighting is, like I said, it's very probably the worst lighting, and the fluorescent lights on top. And we have a lot of shadows. But I'm telling you, it's remarkable when you get the right lighting. Like a couple days ago, I was on set. We'll talk about that later. And they were just like talking about so much how, you're glowing, this, that, what's your skin regime? And I'm like, Michelle Fisher, I keep telling everybody whenever I go on the red carpet, that's one of the main things people ask me. And I just keep on saying, Michelle Fisher, Michelle Fisher. I tell all my friends who I work with in the studio as well, you should call her. You should call her. I think a few of them have, right?
Yes, I could, because I'll do a Zoom conference if you're anywhere else in the country, and we'll make an assessment and my opinions and go from there.
I think I'm going to take you up on that.
You're
Yeah.
gorgeous. You're gorgeous.
Oh, thank you. Thank you. I do have the blessing of the Asian skin, which reminds me, it is AAPI month. Somebody reminded me that it's your month and you're not even talking about it. So this is the first happy AAPI month.
I have a lot of Asian clients.
You do, huh? The dark spots is something I want to talk to you about as we go on in the show. But I want to just let Ricky continue with the topic at hand.
Great.
And and if you have any questions for either Ricky or Michelle, please do put them in the chat. And let's go.
Okay, so the first treatment I think we did together was the vampire facial.
1 week before the Grammys.
1 week before I went onto the Grammys. And I was really nervous because I didn't want to be red. I didn't want to have all that puffiness and scarring, or I just wanted to look really great for the Grammys. She said, "You're going to be fine. Let me do this." And we did it. And every single shot, 2020 Grammys, if you Google Ricky Rebel, every single shot of my face, my skin is really pretty. Yeah, it's flawless. Flawless, period. I even commented on that. I was like, wow, I don't have any bad pictures here. It was crazy. So I'm a big fan of the vampire facial. I know there was a little bit of controversy with Kim Kardashian. She loves, or she did it, right?
She did it.
She did it, and then she posted this really crazy picture of herself on social media to get likes and comments and everything, and it blew up the internet, where she had blood all over her face. So she made it seem like it was this really crazy
Procedure. Painful.
Yeah, it made it look painful, which it's really not. I mean, she's perfected it, though, I must say. The process, like when we first did it, it hurt more than the second time we did it.
I compounded a new numbing cream.
She compounded a new numbing cream. Mm-hmm. So she also invents new ways to, she also invents new ways to do the procedures where it doesn't hurt. She's come up with new theories. The people are asking her, who make these products, are asking her how she does it. But yeah, I love the vampire facial. Do you want to talk about what that is?
Absolutely. It's for every skin color, from snow white to the darkest color. It doesn't see color. It is the only thing that I trust with melasma, which so many women struggle with, the mask of pregnancy, because you can't put a laser on it. It will make it darker. And that's a lot of people go to because they don't see the difference between the melasma or hyperpigmentation, which you can do with laser. But the benefit is that you are literally resurfacing all of the skin. As you can see with Ricky's before picture, I thought he was very olive complected. I thought he I thought he did. I thought he was very olive complected, and that I knew he had a lot of sun damage. But 12 hours later, when I was looking at his 12-hour post, I was like, you're fair skinned. You just had a lot of sun damage. And normally people will keep buying creams and trying to lighten and brighten. And most of the time that doesn't work. And people invest thousands and thousands of dollars that they should have kept in their pocket. Because if you do the right thing, you have a lot of money left over because you're usually one and done. And of course, your maintenance, which maintenance is everything. But you microneedle it. It's a simple blood draw. It's your own blood. You cannot have a bad reaction to it. It's your own blood. We're not putting anything foreign on you. But in your blood, you have PRP, platelet-rich plasma. And they've been using it for decades on burn victims, on organ transplants. But when they would apply it to the burn victims, they found that the skin that was coming back was so beautiful, so much healthier. So then it moved over to the aesthetic industry, and we could use it with everyone with no complications, and done right, because there's some things that you want to make sure that you do in settings. People get incredible results with one treatment. We can't hear you. We can't hear you. Mm-hmm. Okay. Where did she?
I don't know. Keep going.
Okay.
So the next thing we're going to talk about is my second favorite thing that I've done here at Loudon Medical Aesthetics. We're going to talk about something that one of the reasons why I'm here, because you're opening a new
ice bar. So that's because everybody thinks about cryo. They immediately go to cool sculpting. And that's like if you say you want Botox, and you may be getting some of the newer toxins that work better, that kick in faster instead of having to wait for 2 weeks. They can work in a day or two and have, your lines, wrinkles already set in a very short period of time. But cool sculpting has become like the word people associate with cryo. But there is a device I've worked on with a lot of slimming, tightening, and lifting cryo devices. And I used to try to talk people out of it when I was working at other offices, like, please don't do this. It really doesn't work. Literally, I'm going to be so honest with people. I don't want them to waste money and then look at me like, why didn't you do a good job? So I waited around until the physics matters, because you have to get to a certain temperature. You have to get to a certain temperature in order to get immediate results.
Wow.
This device does, and the least I have ever gotten first session, and I have all my before and afters, 2 inches lost. The least. The most I ever got was 11 or 12.
These before and after pictures are insane. Especially of the last one you sent me of the woman's waist.
Yeah, you thought it was Photoshop.
I thought it was Photoshop 100%. But last night, what did you do? What did you do on my face?
Fire and Ice.
You did something
Fire and Ice
to my jaw. What did you do?
I did Fire and Ice. To get his jawline really sculpted here, to get it really sharp, and under his eyes, because they were beginning. Because he is such a young age, they were beginning to get hollowed out and the skin thinner. So I adjusted the temperature to actually begin to thicken his skin.
And I wish we could lift this camera up so we get good lighting like this.
You can scoot down.
Anyway,
Interesting. No, so let me go back. Sorry, there was a lipo on this end with the sound, but the needle one that you were talking about, it sounds like it's almost like a facial version of a blood transfusion, because you said it was your own blood, right? To renew. Did I get that right?
You got it. You got it partially right. So forgive me for not being clear. So what we do is we draw the blood, we put it in a centrifuge, and it has a gel separator. So you want to push the red blood cells to the bottom, to where this really golden PRP, platelet-rich plasma, which does rejuvenate. It inducts collagen, and then we've got your face completely numb. Wipe it off with your PRP ready, and just apply it to the face. It's not injected. It can be under the eyes. It can be injected to where you want to build up gradually to where you don't have filler, which I find tends to look more fake because it can migrate and puddle and just not be the look you were hoping for. So you can do it naturally, because that's what I've done under mine. So at my age, I should really be hollowed out, but this is just PRP. And so when you've numbed it, you've put the PRP, then I take a pen that has to microneedle about 16 small needles, and I set the depth depending on the part of your face, and just coat the whole face, go over the whole face, crosshatch, acne scarring, deep pitted ice pick, injuries that people have had from burns. It addresses skin imperfections. Now, when you start with scarring, I will tell them in reality, it continues to work for 3 months. So I don't want to touch you for 3 months. Every 2 weeks, take a photo of yourself in the same lighting every time. And then you can, because you see yourself in the mirror every day. I'm so guilty of this. I'm so guilty of this. So you go, they'll come in going, I don't really think this worked. But then we go to my before picture where they haven't seen themselves for a month, and they're like, wow. So depending on what the problem is and what we want to correct, it works for 3 months. It doesn't go away after 3 months. It stays. But the corrective it stops there. So depending on what I'm doing, you may need another one. But the channels, the PRP stokes in, and then you don't want to touch your face at all with anything. No creams. Let a tiny scab form over it.
You're actually using the PRP, right? You put the PRP on as moisturizer almost before you go to bed, right?
If you have any left over, you don't have it. You never have any left over.
I don't. I never have any.
It's just soaked right. It's soaked right in. But you want those micro channels to heal over with a tiny scab with it in there. So you don't wash your face at night. I've cleansed it really well. And when you wake up in the morning, when you wash your face, you will swear if you close your eyes, you're washing you're just
baby's
washing
butt.
A baby's bottom. It's so smooth because it's been every skin cell that was on the top of your skin when you walked in has been gone, and we've got collagen induction. We've got PRP reverse aging you. I said it's the Benjamin Button office.
Are we doing that?
Yeah. Interesting.
We're doing it on Ricky Sunday, I think, and taking care of a couple of other things.
Yeah. So I'll take pictures and
we can do the before and after, although your before is just fine. And I also am one of those that thought he was much younger. The way that we met was a little bit weird too. It all ended up good. But I do remember when I was first introduced just by a picture of him, I was like, oh, he's so young. And then when we met, it was, oh, you're not that young, but you look fabulous. And I think your best advertisement, Michelle, is, of course, Ricky Rebel. And the way that he looks. And if you've just tuned in and you're wondering what's going on in the studio today, this is Take My Advice. I'm Not Using It. Get Balanced with Dr. Marissa, the morning show here on NBC News Radio, KCAA, AM 1050, FM 106.5, the station that leaves no listener behind. home to the Asian Oprah, and streaming everywhere, iHeartRadio, Spotify, and of course, my Show Central YouTube TV channel that if you free subscribe, you'll get an alert every weekday morning to tune in to a show about hope and happiness. And we're delighted today. It is Friday, which means it's the Hollywood Rebel Report. And we have our co-host this morning live from Virginia in the offices of and let me see if I can pronounce it correctly,
Loudon.
Thank you. Loudon Medical Aesthetics. And you have the owner and a wonderful founder of that institution here in studio with us. And I just want to also mention that this show is sponsored by Dr. Patrick Lockwood, who is the best-selling author of this book called The Fear Problem. And thank you very much, Dr. Lockwood, for sponsoring. If you want to read and be cognizant about how we are being influenced with fear, then you'll want to pick up this book, which is available both on Amazon and on Mascot Books. So thank you very much to Dr. Patrick Lockwood, who is the sponsor of the series.
Awesome.
And if I may ask Michelle a couple of different questions about skin while I have you as the expert here. And then we're going to go and make an announcement of something that happened today that is very exciting for my co-host and, of course, for me as well. So a couple of things around skin. I am a normal consumer. Because I have Asian skin, I have not necessarily been very disciplined around doing things for my skin. And now I'm at the age where maybe I should have, but I'm not going to shit on myself. And when I'm shopping for things, you've got retinol, collagen, vitamin C, everybody's commercial around what's important to put on your skin and then my guest and friend who's now in heaven, Dawn Wells, who was Marianne on Gilligan's Island. You saw her in the extended intro that plays when the NBC News is on. I love her. She swears that she's never done anything to her skin, and she looked fabulous. And her BS belief system is that your attitude, which I agree with, a positive attitude is the best thing that you can do for your skin. And then when I interviewed Priscilla Presley on the red carpet and I asked her what was the secret to her skin, she said, good lighting, Ricky.
Amen.
And then finally, it is really disturbing to me seeing Hollywood actresses in an attempt to not age, use things like Botox and filler and whatever it is, implants, whatever, and they don't look like themselves. And not only do they not look like themselves, they all look the same. And when I did try Botox twice, and I went in the office, and the girl that escorted me in was like, she looked like Catwoman. And I said to the doctor, you do this for her. She's not a good advertisement for you. Can you not tell her? Can she not see it? And he says, I can't make those kinds of judgments. And, but it's like, what is going on? So please, I'm putting the moose on the table. This is my Canadian.
Well, what is your question, though, Dr. Marissa? What is your specific question?
So the specific question is, what is the truth around skincare?
That is the best question you could have asked.
Thank you.
Applause, applause, applause. That is the best question you could have asked.
Hard.
The number one most important most important because people age differently depending, as you said earlier, DNA plays a huge role in how you age. But the number one most important, if you put nothing else on your skin, which right now the only thing I have on my skin is this, no foundation, nothing.
Me too. I think I know what
I
you're gonna
know.
say.
We'll say it together.
Yeah.
1, 2, 3.
Sunscreen.
The number one, and I 100%, and Ricky as well, love the Obagi sunscreen because it's tinted and warm or cool, and it has this nice, almost like light reflective, beautiful. It sits like a primer instead of heavy and occlusive, because a lot of people misunderstand sunscreen thinking it's only for when you go to the beach and you don't want to get a burn. That's the UVB rays. Think of B for burn. They're very short rays. They hit your skin, burn, bounce. The ones that are aging you are the UVA rays. They're very long, go through and damage the DNA.
Done.
Okay, so
We're done.
of the aging starts when you're a teenager and you're out there baking to get a.
Tell them this, that if you can see, she told me, even in foggy days, okay, where the sun is covered up by the clouds, she said, when you step outside, if you could see the other person and people around you, you're getting sun damage on your face.
Because
Period.
the UVA rays are still coming through.
They're coming through the clouds.
I mean, if there's light, the UVA rays
End
are
of
there.
statement, though. That's a true statement.
Okay.
My partner.
I hear you. I'm about to go on Amazon and buy it.
Tell me, well,
You need
I'll hook you up.
We'll hook you up.
I want you to try it. I really do. I want you to try it. You'll be surprised.
That's what I use. I don't use makeup. I only use that sunscreen.
Interesting. Is it a number? 50, 30,
that doesn't
20?
matter. That doesn't matter. It's the ingredients. And when you buy the sunscreen here, you're getting medical grade, meaning there are ingredients that you cannot get over the counter. And so the number really means nothing. It is more telling of how long before it starts breaking down. So it's going to break down. If you're at the beach, you should reapply every hour, because in day-to-day life, you're walking around, you don't need to reapply. You put it on, go. It's like holding 3-pound weights in its hands. It's not having to work much. You go out into the sun, you're laying there, that sunscreen is holding a 500-pound barbell.
Okay.
So you have to reapply because it's breaking down. That's why people have to reapply at the beach.
Got it.
Okay. So if I race sailboats once a week and I go out at 5 and we come back at 7-ish, I should be reapplying in the middle of that race?
No, not in that amount of time, but if you're out at the beach, if you're out at an event.
I don't do that. I live at the beach, but I'm too antsy to lay out longer than 5 minutes.
That's why your skin looks gorgeous. The way, if you're out at an event and it's outdoor, you should reapply. You should definitely reapply about every 2 hours. Okay. Just reapply. The one that I use for our skin is slightly tinted and has that light reflective quality to it. Then I tell my patients, for the rest of the day, use this mineral that you can apply everywhere else. Don't use the pretty stuff everywhere. You're out, but this on your face, on your body, you can put the regular. But that's definitely the number one, because if the DNA is not being damaged. Now, you need to come to see me when you were doing this at 15, 16, 20s, and the DNA is damaged. We can reverse that. I call it the Benjamin Button office. So, for real, moment.
Do I get a date with Brad Pitt then? Or no?
Wow. Can we double? Can we
triple?
double?
Can we triple it?
Can we double date?
Especially in that movie, Thelma and Louise. Can we get that version of Brad Pitt back?
Or Interview with the Vampire.
Oh, yeah. Interview with the Vampire.
Does digress.
Long hair.
Yeah.
All right. Well, I don't want to run out of time before we talk about this special day. So first of all, thank you so much,
Thank you.
You're very
Michelle,
welcome.
for all the really good information. I'm really glad I put the moose on the
Please
table.
call me. Please call me. Let's chat.
Yeah, for sure. For sure.
And
How do we get a hold of you for those who are listening and enjoying this as well?
absolutely, you can give me a call and book a FaceTime or a Zoom appointment where we can do it. It's where I can make the suggestions. A lot of people will end up flying in anyway, which is, my choice. And it's 703-444-2777.
Okay, I'm actually going to pull you up here. I have the ability to do that. So let's see if we can do this easily. I just went to your website. I believe this is what it is. Nope.
LouderMedicalAesthetics.com.
Oh,
LOUD.
that's a different one. Sorry. Wrong one.
Wrong one.
Louder Medical Group. No. And while you're doing that, I'll just say, if you ever go into an office and the people look like what you were describing, walk away, because that's what they think looks good.
Right.
I refuse to allow anyone to look done here.
Right.
If you look done, the people have failed you.
It's same with vocal coaches. If you ever go to see a vocal coach, they always taught me, never go to a vocal coach who can't sing. Period.
My dad calls it critics are one-legged people commenting or teaching running.
That is our website.
There we go. All right. It's showing procedure, FDA-approved medical spa treatments in Virginia. That's great. There you are.
Yes, I
Meet
am.
Michelle. Awesome.
Wonderful.
Nice reviews. Great. So that's how we get a hold of you. It's easy to find, except that you just don't go to the medical group. You go to Medical Aesthetics.
Aesthetics.com. Or just call me at 703-444-2777 and have them mention that they heard of this office from you and Ricky, and I'll make it a priority to talk to them immediately.
Fantastic. Give me that number one more time. I'm going to put it in the chat.
Sure. 703-444-2777. And your skin will look like heaven.
Yay.
Oh, nice.
On this
one. All right.
I love that.
And see, I didn't put the hyphens in, but at least this will be available for you to take a look at. 703-444. Did I get that right on there?
Yes.
Awesome. Yay.
Well,
all right.
Thank you so much for having
me. Thank you so much, Michelle.
Awesome.
Beautiful, beautiful. And we'll celebrate your month.
Thank you. That's a great way.
Absolutely.
And tonight I'll be performing at her event we're throwing at Louder Medical. So if you're in the Virginia Sterling area, come out and, we're going to party. I'm going to play music. I'm going to play my new single, and we're just going to have a great time. And we're going to talk about her new
Ice Bar, which is not your mother's cryo. Inches in a single session, facelift that you notice immediately. Chisel that jawline. A lot of Asian and Hispanic people ask me how to get a less round face. In a minute.
20
minutes, no downtime. Thank you.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much, Michelle, for being here.
You're beautiful.
And let me see if I can hit this at the same time. Let me get you.
All right, love you.
Doing this.
Great job.
All right. Thank you so much, Michelle. I'm going to give you some applause. There we go.
Hi. All right.
Look, I got it.
Look at that.
Who's
It's my face. That's me on set at Brandon TV. It's a network Netflix competitor, They have a ton of, you know, money, I guess, because they got a huge, huge studio, massive, and they're doing really great content, really great shows, kind of like reality TV type shows, Bravo type of things.
Oh,
It's amazing. It's my friend Brandon Stewart who started this company, and it's in Burbank. Can we scroll to the next page
yes. Let's
on the
see
right?
what we've
Yeah,
got here.
just to
I
show
don't
you the
know.
studio. He
Here
invited
we
me
go.
to be on one of the shows called Obsessed. Yeah, they've won some Emmys. There's some Emmys on the wall there.
Wow.
Yeah. And I was on a show called Obsessed. And he made a very special announcement on the show, which I cannot talk about yet, but it is going to be a big deal. And I'm really excited. Speaking of Hollywood news,
That's awesome.
I always love people out there who are, you know, doing it on their own. They're not waiting for the network to discover them. They're not waiting for, you know, the networks to give him a really big show and whatnot. He decided to make his own. There he is, to make his own network competitor with Netflix. So he's a hard
Wow.
worker. His name is Brandon Stewart.
A nice smile.
Yes, there I am on. The show is called
Wow.
Obsessed. And if
That's
you want to watch it, you have to download the app Brandon TV, and all of the shows are available on the app.
Let's see. Oh, wow.
There's
Look
the
at that
set.
set.
Isn't that amazing?
That is amazing. That's in
Yeah,
Burbank.
it's in the heart of Burbank, and those are like red cameras, very expensive, like amazing crew. We had the beautiful, nice green room, which is always cool to get pampered a
Yeah.
little bit. I love being on set. It's one of my favorite things in the world. And it was just, it was an honor that the casting director or the casting people booked me for this. And there's going to be, like I said, a big announcement coming soon. There, it's affiliated with XRM Media. So
Does
maybe
that
one day
stand
we can
for
stream
anything?
live. Oh my gosh, maybe one day we can stream live on set at
That would
his
be awesome.
studio. Wouldn't that be amazing?
Yeah,
When you come
for
to LA, oh
sure.
my gosh, so I can introduce you to him as well.
I would love that. I would
Yeah.
love that.
Perfect.
All right, and drum roll, please.
Oh, I gotta put my
What
glasses on.
else is going on today?
Oh my God, it looks so much cooler with my
Here
glasses.
we go. Oh, great glasses. 3, 2, 1. It is.
Ah! Veronica. Oh, you got excited. It's okay.
Oh Lord.
It's all right.
It
it'll
won't
play,
just
right?
do it without sign up.
I guess
Oh,
not.
Lord.
Well-
It's not doing it.
It's all right. They'd probably give us a little strike anyway. We don't want to do that.
True. We were talking about that.
Let's just show the cover. If we can go back to the cover,
Yeah, it's not.
that would be amazing. Yeah, my new single came out today. I'm so excited. It's the title of my album, and it's called Veronica. And we dropped it today on all major music platforms. It's going to be on Spotify. It's on It's on Spotify. It's on iTunes. It's on YouTube Music, Amazon Music. If you search Ricky Rebel Veronica, you'll be able to listen to the song. And it's a really beautiful song. It's about this character that I play sometimes to seduce the kind of people that I want to seduce. I hope that's okay to say. That
Yes, it's okay.
It's okay.
Absolutely.
I dress this way. I don't change my gender. I'm always all man, all male every day. But I do enjoy playing this character as if, remember when you were a kid and you like to pretend to be a cat and you play a little
Mhm.
or a bunny or a lion. That's exactly how I view Veronica. It's the character I like to play, and it's a lot of fun to as they say, give a man a mask. And wait, man is rarely himself in person. Give him a mask and he will reveal the truth. I believe I butchered that quote, but that was something like that, Shakespeare. Anyway, I'm telling the truth by wearing a mask, essentially. And the truth is, sometimes I dress this way to seduce certain people, to get what I want. And can we show our faces instead of this email?
I did bring it up. I don't know what happened.
Yeah, just show our faces, please.
Let's see.
But yeah, I mean, I
brought the album cover back up, but
you did? Perfect.
I did. That's what I was doing.
Oh, sorry. I didn't want them to capture your email or get information that you didn't want out there.
Oh, yeah, that's true, huh?
Yeah. I have done that sometimes too, where I'm like, uh-oh. People know there it is, Veronica.
There it is.
She's beautiful.
It is. Congratulations.
Thank you so much.
This is a big deal. It dropped today. It is a single. Mm-hmm. Go and get it. Veronica, the harmony in the beginning that I listened to was fantastic. Oh. So I'm really...
Thank you so much. We'll be performing Veronica as Veronica live at the Hotel Cafe in Hollywood. So if you're in the Hollywood area, come out to the show. We'll be performing on the 26th of this month. And the doors will be at 8:30 p.m. It's a real intimate venue. I'm performing live a lot of Veronica tracks from my new album. And of course, I'm going to be performing with a sweetheart friend of mine that I love. Her name is Tori K. She's fantastic. She dances like Britney, sings like Christina Aguilera. I love her. And we make a really powerful punch of entertainment. So come out to the show, Ricky Rebel and Tori K live at Hotel Cafe, May 26th. Thank you.
Fantastic. Thanks so much, Ricky, for streaming in from Virginia. Thank you all for joining us. Now and later, remember, it's all about balance. Peace in, peace out, world peace through, inner peace. Now go and have the best day ever. Go get Veronica.
Go get Veronica.
KCAA Loma Linda. The Legacy KCAA 1050 AM and Express 106.5 FM.
NBC News Radio, I'm Michael Kastner. The world's top-ranked golfer Scottie Scheffler is teeing off the PGA Championship after being arrested by Louisville police. This comes as the second round of the tournament was delayed almost an hour and a half following a fatal traffic accident outside the Valhalla Golf Club. Scheffler was not involved in the accident but was placed in handcuffs by a police officer he drove past while trying to enter the property. 4 people are dead after a severe storm hit Houston last night. Houston Mayor John Whitmer says glass was blown out of some downtown office buildings and trees and power lines were knocked down throughout the city. Whitmer urged residents to stay home while recovery efforts are underway.
I ask everyone to be patient. Look out for your neighbors. It'll take 24 hours for a lot of this power to be restored. Some will require 48 hours.
At one point, more than 1 million homes and businesses were without power. The House has passed a bill to prevent President Biden from withholding weapons to Israel. Mark Mayfield reports.
The push by Republican leaders is in response to Biden's decision to pause one shipment of bombs to Israel due to concerns over a full-scale military operation in Rafah. The final vote was 224 to 187, with 16 Democrats going against House Democratic leadership and President Biden. Speaker Mike Johnson accused the administration of brazenly holding congressionally mandated aid. The measure would prevent Biden from withholding or canceling weapons transfers that have been approved by Congress. The bill is not likely to advance in the Senate, and Biden said that he would veto it.
Saturday Night Live wraps up season 49 this weekend with actor Jake Gyllenhaal hosting. Sarah Lee Kessler with more.
Live from New York. It'll be Jake Gyllenhaal's third time hosting the iconic sketch comedy program. Espresso singer Sabrina Carpenter is the musical guest.
Sabrina, where does the name Carpenter come from?
NBC News Radio, I'm Michael Kastner. The world's top-ranked golfer Scottie Scheffler is teeing off at the PGA Championship after being arrested by Louisville, Kentucky police. Lisa Taylor with the latest.
This comes as the second round of the tournament was delayed almost an hour and a half following a fatal traffic accident outside the Valhalla Golf Club. Scheffler was not involved in the accident, but was placed in handcuffs by a police officer he drove past while trying to enter the property. The golf star has reportedly been charged with second-degree assault of a police officer, reckless driving, and some other minor offenses. In a statement on Instagram, Scheffler said there was a big misunderstanding.
4 people are dead after a severe storm hit Houston last night. Houston Mayor John Whitmer says glass was blown out of some downtown office buildings and trees and power lines were knocked down throughout the city. More than 1 million homes and businesses were without power. On Wall Street, the Dow is little changed a day after the benchmark touched 40,000.
One of the best ways to build a healthier local economy is by shopping locally. Teamster Advantage is a shop local program started by Teamster Local 1932 that has brought together hundreds of locally owned businesses to provide discounts for residents who make shopping locally their priority. Everything from restaurants like Corky's to fun times at SB Raceway and much, much more. If you're not currently a Teamster and you want access to these local business discounts, contact Jennifer at 909-889-8377, extension 224. Give her a call. That number again is 909-889-8377, extension 224.
It's a bird!
It's a plane!
No, it's Super Roth!
Okay, a gimmicky opening for a commercial about Super Roth Universal Life Insurance, but I'm sure it got your attention. Now, what is a Super Roth, you ask? It's a permanent indexed universal life insurance that's totally liquid and easily accessible once it matures. Can be used to supplement retirement savings or a death benefit, or both. Has no income or contribution limit. Has no 5-year rule like Roth IRAs. Has no 10% penalty for accessing the funds before age 59 and a half. Oh, and the average historical returns are 5 to 7% annually, tax-free. Super Roths also lock in gains, which means you don't lose your money when the market is down. Sounds incredible, right? Sounds super? Super Roths are the way of the future, specifically your future. To see if you qualify for a Super Roth, go online to thesuperroth.com.
What would you do if you had a broken bone? You'd go to the doctor and use your insurance, right? Well, what would you do if you have a serious problem with drugs and alcohol? Most people do nothing until it's way too late. Your insurance can help you get clean and sober with the assistance of a place like the Detox and Treatment Helpline. Many times, addiction treatment is fully covered. So why not use your insurance to treat your addiction problem just like you would if you had a broken bone? And with the Family Medical Leave Act, you're allowed to take time off by law, and your employer doesn't need to know the reason. So there are 2 good reasons. You've got insurance you can use for your addiction problem, and with the Family Medical Leave Act, it's completely confidential. Call now, 800-398-7414. That's 800.
To the Tahibo Tea Club radio show, hosted by Milan Vukovic, founder of the Tahibo Tea Club.
Welcome to the Tahibo Tea Club Radio Hour. My name is Milan Vukovic. I'm the founder of the Tahibo Tea Club.
I'd like to tell you a little bit about the proper preparation directions for Tahibo tea to be effective. Even though we call it tea, what we actually make when we prepare properly is a decoction. And a decoction is just a fancy word for what our forefathers used to do when they took a root and cooked it in order to release its beneficial properties. It's easy, but you don't steep it in hot water like regular leaf tea, but rather cook it like spaghetti. I'll tell you how easy it is to make so you don't think you'll need to get a degree in physics, but you don't have to remember any of this, of course, because the directions are on all the packaging, printed on the packages, as well as in the literature that we automatically include with every order. So you take a pot of water, bring it to a boil. Once the water is boiling, you toss in 1 tablespoon of tea for every 2 cups of boiling water. Cook it on high for 5 minutes. Reduce the heat and cook on simmer for an additional 15 minutes. Now, since our tea comes from the only tree in the world the fungus doesn't grow on, you can make a big batch, say 10 or 20 cups at a time, leave it in the pot on the stove, and it'll stay good for 4 days without refrigeration. Put it in the fridge, and it'll stay good for 8 days with refrigeration. And you can drink it hot, room temperature, cold, or ice. The tea has a mild, pleasant flavor, kind of halfway between Lipton tea and green tea, but a little bit sweeter than either one of those. Our tea tastes so good that 95% of our customers drink it straight without adding anything to it. Even teenagers drink it straight. So you know it must taste pretty good. You can, however, add anything you want to the tea and cook it with the tea. So you can take any old fruit that you have on hand, an apple, a peach, a pear, a mango, slice it up and cook it with the tea, or blueberries, crush them up and cook them, or cinnamon or ginger or whatever. There's a guy in Louisiana, he calls to tell me he's putting in cayenne pepper and Lord knows what else. I told him he had to promise to send me that recipe because not everyone is going to want to have their tea taste like crawfish, but someone's going to say, oh my God, I can do that. You can also add something like lemon after you prepare it. And about the only thing we don't recommend adding to it is sugar. Not because then it has any contraindications with our tea, but because sugar feeds virtually everything bad in our body, from fungus to diabetes to cancer. Although most adults drink our tea without adding anything to it, an 8-year, for example, has not acquired a taste for any kind of tea, so cooking it up with blueberries to make super tea for the 8-year-old is especially useful, and it tastes great. Since Tahibo tea has no contraindications with any medications, it can be taken on an empty stomach, a full stomach, with medicine, without medicine, with therapy, without therapy, and it also has no caffeine, so you can literally drink it all day, all night. And if you drink 8 glasses a day of the tea, you can, drink it instead of water. In my family, everyone from my 24-year-old son to my 90-year-old dad drinks the tea all day instead of water. I just drink water myself 3-4 times a week when I get tired of drinking a tea. Now, in terms of our packaging and shipping, all of our packaging is in 1-pound packages. And a 1-pound package is $49.95, and it makes 300 8-ounce cups or glasses of tea. So that's about the equivalent of 16 cents a glass to make. So if you're drinking 6 glasses a day, that's 96 cents a day. I don't care what economic bracket somebody's in the United States, they can afford 96 cents a day to at least give themselves an opportunity for success. Good morning, listener. You're live on the air with Milan Vukovic. Go ahead, please.
Yeah, hi, Milan. I've called before and I've talked to you about toe fungus and soaking it and soaker, and I've been doing that, but then I have since gotten a sore on the side of my foot, and it turned into an open sore. So I was wondering if it was still good to do that.
It certainly is. As a matter of fact, I got a call from, there's a clinic in South Central Los Angeles, which is a really rough part of town, that uses our tea. And so one day I got a call from the doctor that heads the clinic, and he says, we get a lot of homeless people in here, and they're all cut up and bruised up and this and that, whatever the case is, and we use your tea on 80% of the people that come in. He says, we take the tea and pour it directly over their open wound, and he says, and it starts healing it up, he says, right away. So from that standpoint, really? From that standpoint, it'll help you clear up that sore much quicker than if you didn't do that.
Okay, great.
Yeah.
I mean, it's working good on my toe fungus.
And that's,
but I just wasn't sure. I didn't want to.
No. But and I got to tell you though, toenail fungus does take a little while to get rid of. I mean, usually takes like about 3 months or so. But toenail fungus. I don't know how long you've had yours, but I mean, people usually have had toenail fungus for 5, 10, 15 years. So from that standpoint, now, what other benefits are you experiencing from the tea?
I feel better.
Good.
Yeah.
But
and,
it's bringing oxygen to your organs and cells. So yeah, go ahead.
I had to go to urgent care and everything, and I have what they call white coat syndrome. So when I go in there, my blood pressure it skyrockets to like 200.
Right.
It's crazy. So when I went in there, I warned him about it, and he took my blood pressure, and it was like 132 over 74. Like,
nice.
Wow. Yeah. So I mean, I haven't been taking my blood pressure medicine. I quit taking that, and so.
Tehibo Tea Club's original Pure Pau de Arco Super Tea helps build red corpuscles in the blood which carry oxygen to our organs and cells. Our organs and cells need oxygen to regenerate themselves. The immune system needs oxygen to develop, and cancer dies in oxygen. So the tea is great for healthy people because it helps build the immune system, and it can truly be miraculous for someone fighting a potentially life-threatening disease due to an infection, diabetes, or cancer. The tea is also organic and naturally caffeine-free. A 1-pound package of tea is $49.95, which includes shipping. To order, please visit TehiboTeaClub.com. Tehibo is spelled T like Tom, A-H-E-E-B like boy, O, then continue with the word tea and then the word club. The complete website is TehiboTeaClub.com, or call us at 818-610-8088, Monday through Saturday, 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. California time. That's 818-610-8088, TehiboTeaClub.com. Tehibo Tea Club's original Pure Pau de Arco Super Tea comes from the only tree in the world that fungus does not grow on. As a result, it naturally has antifungal, anti-infection, antiviral, antibacterial, anti-inflammation, and anti-parasite properties. So the tea is great for healthy people because it helps build the immune system, and it can truly be miraculous for someone fighting a potentially life-threatening disease due to an infection, diabetes, or cancer. The tea is also organic and naturally caffeine-free. A 1-pound package of tea is $49.95, which includes shipping. To order, please visit TehiboTeaClub.com. Tehibo is spelled T like Tom, A-H-E-E-B like boy, O, then continue with the word tea and then the word club. The complete website is TehiboTeaClub.com, or call us at 818-610-8088, Monday through Saturday, 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. California time. That's 818-610-8088, TehiboTeaClub.com.
Welcome back to the Tehibo Tea Club radio show. Now, this next segment is a segment with live listener call-ins from previous shows, and you'll be hearing their questions, their successes, and their experiences with Tehibo tea. So please do give us a call and let us know how the tea works for you. Thank you. Saying that for 6 months she was drinking our tea and she had no issues whatsoever, and then recently she had issues with regards to pains and root canal and that sort of thing. If you can go ahead and restart your story for us, that'd be great.
Okay. It was back in October that I don't know why I stopped your tea. I think I ran out of it, and because I used to buy the 8 pounds at a time. And then all of a sudden, all these problems started happening, and that's when I got my blood clots. And I did not take the shot. So it wasn't the shot, and I got blood clots. I got a bad virus, blood clots, and then I had that problem, and then now up to now I have the root canal. So I got your pound of tea, and as soon as I started taking it, about 2 weeks later, my chest stopped hurting. I've been on blood thinners, but I was still having those chest pains, little chest pains. Those, I guess, breathing, that stopped, and my my gums stopped hurting. And because I was gargling with the tea, so that helped. So I'm a firm believer of your tea.
I'm glad to hear that your body is healing and doing what it's supposed to be doing.
It is healing. And I know there's something about your tea. I'm addicted to it. I'm making 20 cups at a time.
Perfect.
And I just drink it, and I love it. And the taste is just wonderful. It has, I don't feel like there's a taste to it, but it's a good taste. I drink it. It's better to drink. I can drink it faster than I can drink water for some reason.
The tea does taste really good. It's got a really mild flavor, which is really easy to change if somebody wants to. You can add lemon to it, or cook it with something else, or whatever the case is. But what I'm really truly gratified to hear is that your body is healing, your gums are healing. Your blood clot is healing. You're not getting the chest pains anymore, and that sort of thing. Which, it's always a beautiful thing when you feel the way you really should feel. I mean, we're not supposed to have aches and pains and all of this type of stuff, but our body wears out little by little and everything like that. So the tea is not a fountain of youth, but it does help regenerate a lot of new cells.
You're so right, because as soon as I stopped drinking it, I just started having all these issues. And I don't, and then I started re-drinking again, and I just started, these issues started, feeling better.
Absolutely.
So there is something about this tea. And I thank you so much. How did you find out about it?
Well, what happened was that I was planning a funeral for my dad in 1998 because he was given 2 months to live. And so I called friends and family, and I said, hey, listen, if you want to see Dad, you might want to come and see him now, because he's got colon cancer that has spread to his pancreas. And the colon they can operate on, because the colon is like an ordinary garden hose. We've got 6 foot of it. They can cut out a foot of it, or resection it. And it's, for the patients, it's not an easy operation, because they have to split you up all the way from your chest to below your belly button. But for the doctors, technically it's pretty easy. Like I said, it's basically like splicing a garden hose. But the pancreas, that's a different story. In 1998, they did no operations whatsoever on the pancreas. And now they do limited operations on the pancreas, when it's on the top tip of the pancreas, the 10% tip of the pancreas. But even then, their success ratio is not that great. But in any event, in 1998, they weren't doing any of this. And my dad was being treated at the Houston Medical Center, which is the biggest medical center in the world. It's bigger than Boston. It's got 4 hospitals right next door to each other, and the 50 medical buildings right beside those. And, I got a call from the doctor, said, hey, put your dad's affairs in orders, because he might have, 2 months to live. And he looked like he was going to pass. He's normally a man of 180 pounds. He was down to 120 something, and he looked like a refugee in a Steven Spielberg movie. So I started planning a funeral, and I called friends and family and said, hey, listen, if you want to see Dad, he's got colon pancreatic cancer. He's got about 2 months to live. You might want to come and see him now. And so people started coming over, paying their respects. And this one family came, and they brought the tea with them. And they said this tea healed our brother from cancer. So I'm looking at them like they're Martians or something, right? Because everybody at the medical center was saying plan a funeral, and these people are telling me the tea might help my dad. But, I'm polite to the people because they came to pay their respects and everything, and I thank them for coming and all that. And after they left, I cooked the tea up. My father figured, well, what the heck? If I've got 2 months to live, what's the difference? I'm drinking water, I'm drinking tea. I got to drink something anyway. So he starts drinking the tea. And exactly 2 months later, after he started drinking the tea, they put my dad on a CAT scan machine, and he wasn't getting any treatment of any kind. I mean, he was just at home, and all he was doing was drinking the tea. And they put him on a CAT scan machine, and they thought the CAT scan machine was broken, because they couldn't find the tumor that used to be on his pancreas that used to be the size of a half a brick. And so they says to my dad, well, the hospital next door, they've got a CAT scan machine as well. And since you already drank the contrast dye, we'll phone them, and you can just walk over there, and they'll take a picture, and so you don't have to come back next week. Once our machine is fixed, and do the routine all over again. So he went next door. They took a picture. They couldn't find any cancer either. My father's been cancer-free now for over 24 years. He turned 90 years old, and for his 90th birthday, I took him up to Big Bear Mountain, which is the closest mountain here to LA.
Tahibo Tea Club's original Pure Pouty Arco Super Tea comes from the only tree in the world that fungus does not grow on. As a result, it naturally has antifungal, anti-infection, antiviral, antibacterial, anti-inflammation, and anti-parasite properties. So the tea is great for healthy people because it helps build the immune system, and it can truly be miraculous for someone fighting a potentially life-threatening disease due to an infection, diabetes, or cancer. The tea is also organic and naturally caffeine-free. A 1-pound package of tea is $49.95, which includes shipping. To order, please visit TahiboTeaClub.com. Tahibo is spelled T like Tom, A-H-E-E-B like boy, O, then continue with the word tea and then the word club. The complete website is TahiboTeaClub.com or call us at 818-610-8088, Monday through Saturday, 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. California time. That's 818-610-8088, TahiboTeaClub.com. Tahibo Tea Club's original Pure Pouty Arco Super Tea helps build red corpuscles in the blood which carry oxygen to our organs and cells. Our organs and cells need oxygen to regenerate themselves. The immune system needs oxygen to develop, and cancer dies in oxygen. So the tea is great for healthy people because it helps build the immune system, and it can truly be miraculous for someone fighting a potentially life-threatening disease due to an infection, diabetes, or cancer. The tea is also organic and naturally caffeine-free. A 1-pound package of tea is $49.95, which includes shipping. To order, please visit TahiboTeaClub.com. Tahibo is spelled T like Tom, A-H-E-E-B like boy, O, then continue with the word tea and then the word club. The complete website is TahiboTeaClub.com or call us at 818-610-8088, Monday through Saturday, 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. California time. That's 818-610-8088, TahiboTeaClub.com.
And we stayed in a cabin up there for 5 days and went walking every day at 7,500 feet altitude.
Amazing, amazing, amazing. God bless. Well, my father, he was 95 when he passed with respiratory problems, and he was a prisoner of war in the Bataan Death March, and he was. I think if he had this tea, he would have lived to over 100. He was an amazing, amazing man. And I really believe if he had this tea, he would have survived that, because he survived the most amazing thing, being in that camp. And I really think this tea would have saved his life. My best friend had some issues, and they're one by one are clearing up, and she tells everybody about this tea, and I do too. And so thank you.
Well, thank you so much. It's been a blessing in my family's life. And, thank you so much for calling in and giving us an update.
Bless you. God bless. Take care.
God bless. Bye-bye. Now, the Tahibo tree is an amazing tree. It never gets sick. It never gets infected. It never gets infested. As a result, the highest potency Tahibo comes from the inner bark of the tree, where the arterial and vein systems, called the xylem and phloem, in its tree reside, which bring nutrients to the rest of the tree. That's why we only harvest mature trees over 40 years old in the rainforest of Brazil. It's also the only tree in the world that fungus doesn't grow on. So, as a result, it naturally has antifungal, anti-infection, antiviral, antibacterial, anti-inflammation, and anti-parasite properties. These benefits go a long way to helping our immune system contend with a lot of things it normally has to contend with on a daily basis. Parasites would be something like stomach problems. Inflammation would be something like rheumatoid arthritis. Infection would be any infection from a tooth infection to a bladder infection. Viral would be something like herpes, HIV, or the coronavirus. Bacteria would be something like gum disease or stomach bacteria. And fungus would be something like toenail fungus, yeast, or candida. One of the other important things that the tea does is it builds the red corpuscles in the blood, which carry oxygen to our organs and cells. Our organs and cells need oxygen to regenerate themselves. Our immune system needs oxygen to develop, and cancer happens to die on oxygen. So the tea is great for healthy people because it helps regenerate new cells. Everything from the cells in our skin so we look better, to the cells in our organs so they function properly. And it can truly be miraculous for someone fighting a potentially life-threatening disease due to an infection, diabetes, or cancer. I'd like to talk a little bit about animals, from dogs to cats to chimpanzees to chickens to horses. One day we got a call from a customer who wanted to get the tea for his show dog who had developed a skin disorder for whom antibiotics didn't work. Exactly 3 weeks later, the customer called again and said the dog's skin had completely cleared up and the dog was back working again as a model. I asked how they got the dog to drink the tea, and they said they simply replaced the water in his bowl with the tea. Well, it turns out the dogs really like the tea, and another customer called if we knew that dogs prefer our tea over water. We told him we knew dogs liked our tea, but why did he think they preferred it over water? He said he had multiple dogs, one of which was sick. Since he had 3 dogs, he also had 3 water bowls, and he replaced one water bowl with the tea, and that bowl was gone first every day. So, since the dogs were the only ones drinking out of the bowls, it was easy to figure out that the dogs prefer the tea over water. So all you do to get a dog to drink the tea is just swap out the water for the tea, and the dogs will drink it. And if by chance they don't, all you do is put 2 or 3 ice cubes in it, and the dog will think it's dessert, and by tomorrow he'll be asking you for the tea. Call us at our offices in Los Angeles at 818-610-8088. Our Los Angeles office is open Monday through Saturday, 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. California time. That's area code 818-610-8088. One more time, our telephone number is 818-610-8088, Monday through Saturday, 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. California time. Or, of course, you can visit our internet site, TaheeboTeaClub.com, 24 hours a day. We welcome you to give us a call because, as you might know, we learn a lot about our own product through our customers, calling us in regards to their dogs, toenail fungus, diabetes, all kinds of cancer cases. And take care until the next show.
Taheebo Tea Club's original Pure Pau d'Arco Super Tea comes from the only tree in the world that fungus does not grow on. As a result, it naturally has antifungal, anti-infection, antiviral, antibacterial, anti-inflammation, and anti-parasite properties. So the tea is great for healthy people because it helps build the immune system, and it can truly be miraculous for someone fighting a potentially life-threatening disease due to an infection, diabetes, or cancer. The tea is also organic and naturally caffeine-free. A 1-pound package of tea is $49.95, which includes shipping. To order, please visit TaheeboTeaClub.com. Taheebo is spelled T like Tom, A-H-E-E-B like boy, O, then continue with the word tea and then the word club. The complete website is TaheeboTeaClub.com or call us at 818-610-8088, Monday through Saturday, 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. California time. That's 818-610-8088, TaheeboTeaClub.com. Tahibo Tea Club's original Pure Pau de Arco Super Tea helps build red corpuscles in the blood which carry oxygen to our organs and cells. Our organs and cells need oxygen to regenerate themselves. The immune system needs oxygen to develop, and cancer dies in oxygen. So the tea is great for healthy people because it helps build the immune system, and it can truly be miraculous for someone fighting a potentially life-threatening disease due to an infection, diabetes, or cancer. The tea is also organic and naturally caffeine-free. A 1-pound package of tea is $49.95, which includes shipping. To order, please visit TahiboTeaClub.com. Tahibo is spelled T like Tom, A-H-E-E-B like boy, O, then continue with the word tea and then the word club. The complete website is TahiboTeaClub.com, or call us at 818-610-8088, Monday through Saturday, 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. California time. That's 818-610-8088, TahiboTeaClub.com.
You're listening to the Tahibo Tea Club radio show, hosted by Milan Vukovic, founder of the Tahibo Tea Club.
Welcome to the Tahibo Tea Club radio hour. My name is Milan Vukovic. I'm the founder of the Tahibo Tea Club. Without my father, John Vukovic, there would be no Tahibo Tea Club. My father was diagnosed with colon cancer that had spread to the pancreas in 1998 at the age of 86. He started receiving treatment at the Houston Medical Center, which is the biggest medical center in the world, bigger than Boston. Because the size of the tumor on my father's pancreas was the size of a half a brick, I was told that there wasn't anything they could do for my father, and that I needed to put my father's affairs in order since he had about 2 months to live. So, of course, I started planning a funeral. I called our friends and family and told them how grave the situation was, and told them that if they wanted to see Dad, they only had a couple of months, and they might want to do so now. One of the families that came to pay their last respects to my father came and brought Tahibo tea with them. They said Tahibo tea cured their brother from cancer. I looked at them incredulous, as if they were Martians or something. I mean, my dad was getting treated at the Houston Medical Center, and no one was saying anything other than to plan a funeral, and these people were telling me that the tea's going to cure my dad? But of course, I was polite to the people since they came to pay their respects. In any event, after they left, I cooked up the tea, and my father figured if he had 2 months to live, what's the difference if he's drinking the tea or water? He has to drink something anyway. So he's drinking the tea, and 2 months later, when they put him on a CAT scan machine, they thought their CAT scan machine was broken because they couldn't find a tumor on his pancreas that used to be the size of a half a brick. So they said to my father, you know, the hospital right next door here at the medical center also has a CAT scan machine. Since you already drank the contrast dye, we'll phone them and you can walk over and they'll take a picture so you don't have to come back and do it all over again next week when we get a machine fixed. So my father walked next door. They took a picture. They couldn't find any cancer either. My father is now 86 years old. He's been cancer-free for over 20 years. And not only is he cancer-free, he's in such good health, he takes care of my garden and even mows my lawn. I mean, I'd be embarrassed about it if he didn't enjoy doing it, and I know it's good for him. Our customers always get a kick out of it when they ask me how my dad's doing, and I tell them as long as he's mowing my lawn, he must be doing pretty good. The tea's certainly been a blessing in my family's life, and God willing, our tea will have the same benefits for you, your family and friends, as it has for mine and so many others. Not a week goes by that someone doesn't call in with a truly miraculous recovery. Bone cancer, brain cancer, breast cancer, prostate cancer, mesothelioma, leukemia, diabetes, you name it. And not a day goes by that someone doesn't call in with some type of a success, whether it's just beating toenail fungus. Well, toenail fungus may not be imminently life-threatening, but if you have it, you don't like it. The Tahibo tree is an amazing tree. It never gets sick, never gets infected, and never gets infested. As a result, the highest potency Tahibo comes from the inner bark of the tree where the arterial and vein system, called the xylem and the phloem, in the tree reside, which brings nutrients to the rest of the tree. And that's why we only harvest mature trees over 40 years old in the rainforest of Brazil. The harvest method we use is to semi-strip some outer bark to get to the inner bark without cutting down the tree and allowing the tree to heal itself so they can be harvested again. It's also the only tree in the world the fungus doesn't grow on. So as a result, it naturally has antifungal, anti-infection, antiviral, antibacterial, anti-inflammation, and anti-parasite properties. These benefits go a long way to helping our immune system contend with a lot of things it normally has to contend with on a daily basis. Parasites would be something like stomach problems. Inflammation would be something like rheumatoid arthritis. Infection would be any infection from a tooth infection to a bladder infection. Viral would be something like herpes. Bacteria would be something like gum disease or stomach bacteria. And fungus would be something like toenail fungus or candida. But maybe more importantly, what the tea does is build the red corpuscles in the blood which carry oxygen to our organs and cells. Our organs and cells need oxygen to regenerate themselves. Our immune system needs oxygen to develop, and cancer happens to die in oxygen. So the tea is great for healthy people because it helps regenerate new cells. Everything from the cells in our skin so we look better to the cells in our organs so they function properly. And it can truly be miraculous for somebody fighting a potentially life-threatening disease such as diabetes or cancer. In future programs, we'll discuss Tahibo tea versus AIDS, anemia, arthritis, asthma, bronchitis, other types of cancers, colitis, diabetes, diverticulitis, eczema, fungus, gastritis, gonorrhea, gout, HIV, impotence, infections, leukemia, lupus, Parkinson's, prostatitis, pyorrhea, rheumatism, ringworm, ulcers, virus, and yeast infections. One time a customer asked me, he said, boy, it sounds like the tea helps with everything. It does really help with a lot of different things, but for some things, for example, with the bones, calcium helps with the bones. The Tahibo helps with a lot of different things, but you need some other things also for a healthy diet. I'd like to talk a little about the proper preparation directions for Tahibo tea to be effective. Even though we call it tea, what you're actually preparing when you make it properly is a decoction. A decoction is just a fancy word for what our forefathers used to make when they used to take a root and cook it in order to release its beneficial properties. It's easy, but you don't steep it in hot water like regular leaf tea, but rather cook it like spaghetti. I'll tell you how easy it is to make just so you don't think you'll need a degree in physics, but you don't have to remember any of this because the directions, of course, are on the packages as well as in the literature you automatically receive with your order. You take a pot of water, bring it to a boil. Once the water is boiling, you toss in a tablespoon of tea for every 2 cups of boiling water. Cook it on high for 5 minutes, reduce the heat, and cook on simmer for an additional 15 minutes.
Tahibo Tea Club's original Pure Pau Arco Super Tea helps build red corpuscles in the blood which carry oxygen to our organs and cells. Our organs and cells need oxygen to regenerate themselves. The immune system needs oxygen to develop, and cancer dies in oxygen. So the tea is great for healthy people because it helps build the immune system, and it can truly be miraculous for someone fighting a potentially life-threatening disease due to an infection, diabetes, or cancer. The tea is also organic and naturally caffeine-free. A 1-pound package of tea is $49.95, which includes shipping. To order, please visit TahiboTeaClub.com. Tahibo is spelled T like Tom, A-H-E-E-B like boy, O, then continue with the word tea and then the word club. The complete website is TahiboTeaClub.com, or call us at 818-610-8088, Monday through Saturday, 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. California time. That's 818-610-8088, TahiboTeaClub.com. Tahibo Tea Club's original Pure Pau Arco Super Tea comes from the only tree in the world that fungus does not grow on. As a result, it naturally has antifungal, anti-infection, antiviral, antibacterial, anti-inflammation, and anti-parasite properties. So the tea is great for healthy people because it helps build the immune system, and it can truly be miraculous for someone fighting a potentially life-threatening disease due to an infection, diabetes, or cancer. The tea is also organic and naturally caffeine-free. A 1-pound package of tea is $49.95, which includes shipping. To order, please visit TahiboTeaClub.com. Tahibo is spelled T like Tom, A-H-E-E-B like boy, O, then continue with the word tea and then the word club. The complete website is TahiboTeaClub.com, or call us at 818-610-8088, Monday through Saturday, 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. California time. That's 818-610-8088, TahiboTeaClub.com.
Welcome back to the Tahibo Tea Club radio show. Now, this next segment is a segment with live listener call-ins from previous shows, and you'll be hearing their questions, their successes, and their experiences with Tahibo tea. So please do give us a call and let us know how the tea works for you. Thank you.
Hello?
Go ahead, listener. You're live on the air with Milan Vukovic. Go ahead, please.
Yes, I got your tea for when I started. It was for my gout, and it's helped out a lot. For my gout. I took it for my gout, but I've had a high blood pressure too. And my high blood pressure, I have a machine to check it with. I've tried those red beets. I've tried a tea that was supposed to be for reducing your blood pressure. I've tried, several, 4 or 5 different natural things. And so far, the tea, within about a week or about 10 days, my blood pressure is normalized out almost perfect.
Oh, that's fantastic, because there are so many reasons for high blood pressure that for high blood pressure, our tea works on some people but doesn't work on others, because there's everything from narrowing of the arteries as we get older to getting mad at the politicians on TV all day long. And so there's like a million reasons for high blood pressure, as opposed to, for example, diabetes. There's really one reason for diabetes. It's the pancreas not secreting its most important hormone, insulin, properly. And so for diabetes, it works on virtually everybody. And for high blood pressure, it works for some people. For some people, it doesn't. So I'm really glad to hear that it worked for you, because we're always glad, when the tea works, because, as you see yourself, the tea tastes great. It has no smell. It costs 16 cents a glass to make, and you got to drink something anyway. So you can drink the tea all day, all night. It's got no caffeine.
Well, I got diagnosed with high blood pressure about 3 years ago, and they gave me 2 different scripts that I know all my other friends are on. I've looked there's like 5 top prescriptions that the side effects will kill you alone, so I just said I wasn't going to take them, and I never did take them. I dealt with the high blood pressure, but now I've taken the tea, and it's finally normalized out.
Oh, God bless you, and you're absolutely right. What people don't realize is the side effects that the high blood pressure medications have. The high blood pressure medications all have toxins in them that your kidneys, have to get rid of. And I can tell you, I get, probably 1 or 2 cases a year where a person was more or less perfectly healthy to begin with, but all they had was high blood pressure. And they were taking high blood pressure meds and ended up getting abdominal pains and pains in their chest, and ended up in a hospital. And they end up in a hospital, and of course they do a battery of tests when you show up at the emergency room. And through the CAT scans and ultrasounds and everything like that, they identified that the person had what they termed kidney injury. And my customer says, "What do you mean kidney injury? I didn't fall. I didn't hit myself. I don't play hockey. I don't play football. What are you talking about, kidney injury?" Right? They go, "Well, that's the term that we use when we don't know, what's wrong, but we do know that your kidney is not functioning properly. And so what we're going to have to do is hydrate you with intravenous for 3-4 days to get it to function properly, and then you'll get to go home." Well, in the meantime, they can't eat, and they feel awful, and even when they're released and they go home, they can't eat for another month because the pain is so just excruciating, until they finally start eating after about a month. By then, they've lost 30 pounds. One of our customers went from 175 pounds to 145 pounds, during that month because he wasn't eating. Well, of course, if you don't eat, you're going to lose a pound a day, you know what I mean? And it was simply because of the high blood pressure medication. And what was crazy was
he didn't even need high blood pressure medications. But, as you get older, they start sending you to all these doctors that are all getting a piece of the pie and getting paid, right? So he's got a physician, he's got a neurologist because supposedly, he's going to have dementia. He's got a cardiologist because, he might have heart problems. He's got, somebody else for whatever, right? And so this man had never had any heart issues, never had high blood pressure issues before. And about 8 months ago, his cardiologist put him on high blood pressure meds. And he was thinking to himself, I wonder why he's doing this, right? And not only that, even if his high blood pressure reading was high that particular day when he went to the cardiologist's office, well, his cardiologist had been seeing him for 2-3 years. So it wasn't like it was a one-off shot where he said, oh, you're at your blood pressure is high today. He could have looked at his average and said, hey, either that or let's wait another half hour and take another blood pressure medication or take it at home. But if your blood pressure is over this much, call me and I'll give you some prescription. No, the idiots didn't do that. They measured his blood pressure for whatever reason, decided it was high, put him on these high blood pressure meds, and nearly killed him.
I honestly don't believe high blood pressure is complete science. They figured out, in my opinion. I did the same thing to me. They bounced me around four different doctors over gout, what I initially went there for, and they said I had blood pressure. That's the first thing they check when you come in the door. I get stressed out going to the doctor. You go to the doctor, your points are going to go up 10 points just from going to see the doctor alone.
Of course.
They don't even take that into consideration.
Now, did they ever
seeing a doctor?
Yeah, it is. Now, did they ever figure out why you have gout or what the cause of the gout was?
Yeah, it's uric acid and whatever. And I have something nobody else in my family has. And we all eat the same food, so I don't understand how I'm the only one that got singled out in the family. I ended up with gout, but it is what it is, and just I got to take care of it.
And which organ produces uric acids?
I don't know right offhand. I just know gout goes through every joint in your body, and it's hit every joint in my body, shoulder, fingers, knees, ankles, toes. Now my big toe, about a couple of days ago, I had to swallow up a little bit. I started drinking the tea some more, and it's gone away again, so I'm doing better again.
Now, how long have you been drinking our tea?
I started about 2 months ago.
Okay. Well,
I had my first flare-up. These flare-ups happen. I've had gout for over 10 years off and on, but I went into remission for 3 years and didn't do nothing about it. Wasn't taking medication or anything. I was taking vitamin C because all the things they tell you for gout, cherry juice, celery seed, everything high in vitamin C. So I figured I'd eliminate the middleman and just take high dose of vitamin C. I was taking 3,000 milligrams a day. It worked for 3 years, and I don't know if I got tolerances to it and built up, and the gout came back. It came back in the middle of nowhere. I'm shoveling snow in February and March about 2 years ago, and it's bounced around off and on since then. Those are little spurts. We have it for a month. This last time it's been for about a month. It bothered me. It bounced around from a few joints, but the tea's helped out considerably. I appreciate it.
Our tea is very, very effective for gout. And so what you're going to want to do is you're going to want to watch drinking too much soda or
I don't drink soda pop at all.
Or too much of foods that contain fructose, which of course is a type of sugar. But we need to cut sponsor break right now. And if there's any other questions,
Tahibo Tea Club's original Pure Pau de Arco Super Tea helps build red corpuscles in the blood which carry oxygen to our organs and cells. Our organs and cells need oxygen to regenerate themselves. The immune system needs oxygen to develop, and cancer dies in oxygen. So the tea is great for healthy people because it helps build the immune system and it can truly be miraculous for someone fighting a potentially life-threatening disease due to an infection, diabetes, or cancer. The tea is also organic and naturally caffeine-free. A 1-pound package of tea is $49.95, which includes shipping. To order, please visit TaheeboTeaClub.com. Taheebo is spelled T like Tom, A-H-E-E-B like boy, O, then continue with the word tea and then the word club. The complete website is TaheeboTeaClub.com or call us at 818-610-8088, Monday through Saturday, 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. California time. That's 818-610-8088, TaheeboTeaClub.com. Taheebo Tea Club's original Pure Pau d'Arco Super Tea comes from the only tree in the world that fungus does not grow on. As a result, it naturally has antifungal, anti-infection, antiviral, antibacterial, anti-inflammation, and anti-parasite properties. So the tea is great for healthy people because it helps build the immune system, and it can truly be miraculous for someone fighting a potentially life-threatening disease due to an infection, diabetes, or cancer. The tea is also organic and naturally caffeine-free. A 1-pound package of tea is $49.95, which includes shipping. To order, please visit TaheeboTeaClub.com. Taheebo is spelled T like Tom, A-H-E-E-B like boy, O, then continue with the word tea and then the word club. The complete website is TaheeboTeaClub.com or call us at 818-610-8088, Monday through Saturday, 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. California time. That's 818-610-8088, TaheeboTeaClub.com.
Hi, yeah, I just wondered, I have some like skin psoriasis and some itchy skin things going on in my lower leg. I just wondered if this would be effective topically on the skin and also like maybe the hair, something like that.
Oh, tremendously. As a matter of fact, we've got customers that bathe in the tea. They make a gallon of the tea, and then they pour the gallon of the tea and, bathe with the tea. We're talking about the hair. You just hit upon the secret of the Hollywood elite. No, seriously, our office is like 8 miles from Malibu. We've got these hotsy-totsy people in Malibu, and what they do is they put the tea in a spray bottle. They carry the tea with them, and they spray their face and their hair as they're out walking in Malibu.
Wow.
So you're going to be in good company, man. You're going to be in the company of, like, the Kim Kardashian, Mariel Hemingway, Justin Bieber.
I want to be in her company.
Oh man, you're gonna have to up your game, man. I mean,
leave it to these Hollywooders to come up with ideas like that, huh?
Right. But hey, the tea works so well topically that we have a clinic in South Central Los Angeles, which is a rough part of town. All right, they get a lot of homeless people.
That's an understatement.
Yeah, it certainly is an understatement. Who runs a clinic calls up and he says, we use your tea on 80% of the people that come in here because they're all cut up and everything. And what we do is we pour the tea directly over their open wound, and he says you can see it healing up before your very eyes.
Really?
Yeah. He says, so it's absolutely fantastic, he says. And,
wow.
Yeah. So from that standpoint, anytime a person has some skin condition that's going on, besides drinking the tea, they can also apply the tea topically. And same with animals, for example, dogs, whatever the case is. Got a dog.
I've got a cat.
Yeah. Well, cats won't drink very much because they don't drink very much of anything.
Well, how about like putting a spraying topically on his fur?
Yeah. Spraying it topically would be great. I'm just saying that it's going to be hard to get a cat to drink because a cat doesn't even drink water unless it's.
Well, you know what? I've been putting some in his cat food.
That's good. That's exactly what you have to do is mix it with a cat food because cats, for some reason, I don't know, they just don't drink, I mean, unless it's a 35-pound obese cat, in which case it'll slobber water all day long. But if it's a normal-sized cat, it doesn't really drink. No, that's that's a good idea. We have a rescue shelter that rescues dogs, and I got a call from the man who runs the rescue shelter. He says, we used to be really careful, administering your tea to the dogs before. Now, he says, we've cut down our vet bills by 80%. What we do is we take the dog and we dip the whole dog in the tea, he says, instead of being real careful with it. And he says that it cuts down on all the skin conditions that they have, on all the scrapes that they have, and all the stuff that they've got, all the bugs and everything like that. And I said, well, that's really great, man. Fantastic.
Huh. Well, in that case, I guess their bark is bigger than their bite, huh?
Yeah.
Since the Tahibo tea comes from the bark, right?
All right, the Tahibo tea bark is bigger than their bite. Yeah, exactly. Well, we're gonna have to start making special packaging for dogs and put that Tahibo bark is stronger than the bite. That's a good slogan there. Yeah.
Yeah, you go ahead and feel free to use it.
Okay. Excellent.
All
How
right,
you
thanks
doing,
a lot.
Andy? All right, take care.
Take care, bud.
Bye-bye.
Tahibo Tea Club's original Pure Pouty Arco Super Tea comes from the only tree in the world that fungus does not grow on. As a result, it naturally has antifungal, anti-infection, antiviral, antibacterial, anti-inflammation, and anti-parasite properties. So the tea is great for healthy people because it helps build the immune system, and it can truly be miraculous for someone fighting a potentially life-threatening disease due to an infection, diabetes, or cancer. The tea is also organic and naturally caffeine-free. A 1-pound package of tea is $49.95, which includes shipping. To order, please visit TahiboTeaClub.com. Tahibo is spelled T like Tom, A-H-E-E-B like boy, O, then continue with the word tea and then the word club. The complete website is TahiboTeaClub.com or call us at 818-610-8088, Monday through Saturday, 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. California time. That's 818-610-8088, TahiboTeaClub.com. Tahibo Tea Club's original Pure Pouty Arco Super Tea helps build red corpuscles in the blood which carry oxygen to our organs and cells. Our organs and cells need oxygen to regenerate themselves. The immune system needs oxygen to develop, and cancer dies in oxygen. So the tea is great for healthy people because it helps build the immune system, and it can truly be miraculous for someone fighting a potentially life-threatening disease due to an infection, diabetes, or cancer. The tea is also organic and naturally caffeine-free. A 1-pound package of tea is $49.95, which includes shipping. To order, please visit TahiboTeaClub.com. Tahibo is spelled T like Tom, A-H-E-E-B like boy, O, then continue with the word tea and then the word club. The complete website is TahiboTeaClub.com or call us at 818-610-8088, Monday through Saturday, 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. California time. That's 818-610.
KCAA Loma Linda. The Legacy KCAA 1050 AM and Express 106.5 FM.
The information and opinions you hear on the Del Walmsley radio show are those of the host, Del Walmsley, his guests, and his callers, and do not necessarily reflect the opinions of this station, its affiliates, its management, or advertisers. The Del Walmsley show is for entertainment purposes only. Please consult a professional regarding your personal investment needs. Nothing presented on the Del Walmsley show constitutes an endorsement, recommendation, offer, or solicitation to buy or sell any product or security.
Portions of the show may be previously recorded. Welcome to the Del Walmsley Radio Show. Listen and grow as Del questions the status quo, encourages you to think differently, and empowers you to make a better life. Get ready as Del challenges core beliefs, seeks the truth, and reveals the roadmap to the lifestyle you really want. And now your host, multi-millionaire, national award-winning investor, CEO and founder of Lifestyles Unlimited, Del Walmsley.
Welcome to the Del Walmsley Radio Show, where the hype ends and the help begins. I'm your host, Del Walmsley, and as always, we're working on your financial freedom. Today, my friends, I'm going to dig back into this inflation stuff and what the Fed's doing about it. The point I want to get across today is that as we work our way through this high inflation, as we work our way through these Democrat-led political decisions, as we work our way through this situation we're in worldwide, nationwide and worldwide, we need to keep our head on a swivel. We need to be thinking two sides of an argument at the same time. That's not unusual for you, Del. No, it's not. That's why I'm successful. It's because I'm looking both directions. Didn't your parents tell you when you were a kid, you walk out in the street, look both directions? That's what you have to do. You have to be willing to look both directions, which reminds me of a joke, and I'm going to go ahead and tell it to you. It's probably insensitive in every way, shape, and form, but I always thought it was a pretty good joke when it comes to thinking about life. And there was this kid that was born as a head. He didn't have a body. So as a kid, he had to stay inside the house and watch all the other kids go outside and play. And for years, he dreamed of having nothing more than a body so he could go outside with the kids and play. And one day a kid got killed or got hit by a car and hit his head. His head was destroyed, but his body was fine. So they decided to save the body and donate it to this young head, and the head got sewed onto the body and so forth. And now the kid was whole. And needless to say, the child was delighted. And when the operation was over and he went through the recovery, he came home, and the first thing he wanted to do was to get out there in the street and play with those kids. And so he ran out into the street, and realizing that he had never been socialized on how to deal with society, he didn't look both ways and was immediately struck by a car and killed. Now, this gruesome story has a moral. And the moral of the story is, sometimes it's good to quit when you're ahead. Ha ha, ha ha, ha ha. I know you're not laughing because it's a gruesome story. It is pretty funny. But the reality is, in this case, it means the same thing to me. Sometimes it's good for me to quit while I'm ahead. I was talking to somebody about this the other day. He said, Del, I just went through 3 years of investing in your profit, in your system, and I've made tons and tons of money. What do I do now? And I said, I'll tell you what you do now. You put your head on a swivel, and you watch the good side and the bad side. And that's what I'm here to talk about today, putting your head on a swivel. So what's going on? Well, we have massive inflation. Now, by the way, back when Jimmy Carter was around, and you guys are too young to remember this, but back when Jimmy Carter was around, inflation was like 14, 15%, because they counted inflation differently back then. Nowadays, they've taken the big inflationary items out of the inflation numbers. And so 8.5 is probably really 14 or 15% inflation. If you really look at the stuff like your food and your gasoline, they're way over 10%. They're in the teens easily, if not in the 20s, and 30% inflation or price increase rates. You know that. I know that. The Fed knows that. Everybody on TV knows that. All the newscasters know that. And so the Democratic newscasters, CNN, MSNBC, ABC, but all those, they all say it's not a problem. Remember, they said this inflation was transitory. Remember when Biden said it was transitory, and they all mimicked him and mouthed him and said it's transitory, right? So you have to understand, no one's going to tell you the truth. This inflation is bad. Now, the people out there that are feeling it, they know it's bad. You, if you don't have a lot of money, know it's bad. You feel it. You feel it in the gas every time you fill up your tank. It costs over $100 now to fill up your gas tank. You feel it when you go to the store. And what used to be $100 worth of groceries in a cart, a full cart now costs $400. It's different. It's a lot different. So the Fed is trying to do something about it. And the Fed has the ability to do something about it. They have two things they can do. One is they can increase interest rates. By increasing interest rates, you're supposed to reduce borrowing, slow down spending, shrink demand, which in turn pushes or allows prices to come back down, or at least by shrinking demand, you don't keep pushing prices up, right? However, even though the Fed has the main control, and by the way, they're also reversing their easing, quantitative easing, and they're not buying any more bonds to make money plentiful in the banks. They're letting their bonds expire, allowing there to be less money in the banks, so the banks don't have as much money to lend. So they're quantitatively tightening their belt, along with raising interest rates. And all this has to affect the economy, right? The problem with that is that this is a multiple-edged sword problem. The secondary problem, one of the main ones, is the supply chain is disrupted. Now, let's just take a look at one little problem in the supply chain. China. Shanghai Harbor, the largest harbor in the world, is larger than our two largest harbors in America put together, L.A. and whatever the second one is. Put them together, and that is big Shanghai. And yet Shanghai has been shut down for 6 months. This is where everything comes out of for the world. And China continues to shut down its entire city. Everybody is in lockdown. So the supply chain is destroyed. With the supply chain destroyed, product can't get here. Demand wants product. There's no product here, so demand is willing to pay more to get it. Hence, more inflation. Now let's throw in the war. Let's spend $400 or $500 billion. Put that into the economy again for military equipment to go somewhere else. It's not adding to our supply, helping our economy in any way, shape, or form, but it's putting billions of dollars, hundreds of billions of dollars into our money supply. So all these military contract companies have lots of money to give to people to spend. People want to spend it, but there's no product to spend it on. Hence, inflation. So you see, this is a big problem. Now let's add one more thing. 2 years of COVID, 2 years of lockdown in our country. People didn't go anywhere for vacation. They didn't go out to eat. They didn't spend any money. They didn't need any new clothes because they weren't going anywhere. They weren't doing anything. And so people saved a ton of money. It's the first time in our history that there was actually more savings in the bank than there was personal debt. First time ever. So now we have all this money. We're flush with money throughout the entire country, but with no product to buy. So you've got lots of money, chasing very little product, increasing prices. This is a massive problem, folks. It's a massive problem. And Biden